Salam, salam. This is Unity, and I'm here to do a Unity moment. This Unity moment, I got a question from a YouTuber. I've been following her for a long time. Sh when I was following her, she rarely did videos. She would do them every now and then, and I can't remember the first video I looked, but she used to be sitting in her kitchen in a chair. She had like a little short bob, and she had like wooden stuff. If you remember, like wooden fixtures and wooden table. This was like a long time ago. You rarely did videos, and whatever it was in the video that I seen, I subscribed to you back then, and you never really did videos, and then you just start doing a whole bunch of videos, a lot of story times. Her story times are hilarious. She just kind of remind me of me, and that's one of the reasons why um I subscribed to her back then, and I didn't even know that she was as young as she was. I always thought because she had like an old spirit. But y'all check Nikki J Beauty out. Um, she go by her real name is Nikita, but I know her as Nikki J Beauty, and she do beautiful makeup. She will. I love this wig that she has on like now. And it's like this blonde and it's brown. I love when she wear those afro wigs. But anyway, she asked me a question, and the question was, say, hey Queen, I was reading and wondering what's your feelings on talking to your ancestors and giving up your relationship with Jesus Christ. Hold on, let me click it to make sure that I'm getting the whole. Okay. She said, "Hey Queen, I was reading and wondering what's your feelings on talking to your ancestors and giving up the relationship with Jesus Christ and strictly focus on your ancestors and God. I read one I read one girl's story on how and why she done it. Video request. Um Woo. If you would have asked me this question probably like in my 20s, I would be like, girl, haul ass from Jesus Christ. But I'm where I'm at now, I'm real careful about how I deal with people and their religions and their ways of life. Um it's so many people that was probably born um Christian. They could have been born like Baptist, and then they went from there, and then they became like, sanctified, and then they went to college, and they probably became Pan African, and then they left there, and then they probably became Muslim and Buddhism. So people go through stages in life when they learn in knowledge. Um, I'm not gonna really get really deep into what I have learned about Christianity, but I wasn't raised Christian. I was raised Muslim. But as I got older, I did study kind of like the origin of Christianity. And one thing I can say, the energy or the person that they call Jesus, Yeshua, Esau, he have many different names in different languages. It's the same name, but it's in different languages. Because like my youngest son, my 17-year-old, his name is Esau. And Esau, not Esau, Esau, I apostrophe S-A. It's Arabic and it means our Savior. So a lot of people, when they speak of Esau in Islam, we consider him a prophet. So we call him, um, it's we consider him a prophet. So they say Prophet Esau. By studying him, he was a beautiful energy. But as time start going on, they start adding this and adding that and adding this and adding that. But I don't really want to get deep into Christianity unless what I learned about it, unless y'all want me to. And just let me know and I'll do a video about that. But what I learned about Christianity and why that's something that I wouldn't be a part of in my life. But I have read the Bible. I have read a lot of many books, but I have read the Bible, and in the interesting part that a lot of people don't know, in the Quran, there's many reference to Esau in the Quran, how he performed miracles. Like it's one, I can't remember the surah. Surah in the Quran means chapter. He took a clay bird. He built a clay bird out of clay, I think so. If I'm not saying it right, y'all can correct me. And he blew life into it, and the bird became real. They was just saying how he was. This what they say in the Quran about Esau, Prophet Esau, Jesus, Yahshua. You know, whatever y'all feel that y'all comfortable. And then another part I remember reading the Quran about Prophet Esau, that he was bad. He was a bad little boy. He like pushed one of his playmates off the roof, and they was like, "Hey, you killed him! You killed him!" And he was like, "No, he not dead." And he brought him back to life. So that was like some of the miracles that he performed as a child, um, that I read about Prophet Esau in the Quran. But another thing that, as I'm like really, I'm just a spiritual. I study a lot of things, but one of the things that I kind of connect with out of all the cultures and ways of life is Buddhism. And one of the things is called Reiki. And I don't know if that's connected to Buddhism, but Reiki is like when you have healing hands, and you know, there's a lot of people that they be Reiki practitioners, and they have like healing hands and stuff like that. And when I kind of read about Esau, he kind of remind me of like a Reiki healer. That's what in my mind I put him as, like a miracle performer, Reiki healer. So the you know, I know in Christianity, from what I read, they don't separate the Son, the Father, and the Holy Ghost. A lot of people, they just focus. They say they all one. And the thing that I do agree about that is, I do believe we are gods. Ye are gods. Like, I'm a god. I create and I do believe that I don't have to go through no one to get to a divine energy, a high energy. So, but let me answer a question, because this video go crazy. I just wanted to kind of go through that because she answered me this question. So I want to give my opinion on it. So the make a long story short, the person or the deity or the energy, beautiful energy, Esau, I respect. What Christianity has became in the blue-eyed Jesus that they put all over this society. I don't know who that is, but from just reading certain books that I have read, this energy was a beautiful energy. And I mean, you could go into history, and there's so many different people that lived that life that he lived, but I can't say this. They created this God of fear and control. When they start adding more to who Esau was, they was like, he wasn't married, he didn't have children. The research I did, he was just really focusing on preaching to people. And that's a lot of times we can go into like nuns. They don't believe in producing and all that. So, but yeah. So her question was mainly, she wanted to know about, you know, talking to your ancestors and giving up relationship with Jesus Christ. Like I say, about 20 years ago, I would have been like, sister, get away from that, da da da. But now I'm really careful about, you know, messing with a person religion and a way of life, because that's their reality, and it's been a reality for generations. No matter if we did research, if it's not true or not, we have to be really careful when we just tell someone to leave, you know, their way of life. You just got to be really careful with that. I'm not gonna be like, sister, leave that and go strictly and talk to the ancestors, because it's people that's Christian and they have a relationship with the ancestors. When sister, when you saying ancestors, are you just saying your ancestors, um, like your grandma, or just African ancestors, or you talking about the Orishas? Like, it's so many different ways people get guidance from our ancestors. Like me, for instance, when I was going through um when I had the fibroids, and I'll put a link if y'all never seen that video. I think I had about 2 or 3 videos, but I just found one when I was in the hospital. um I had a vision of an elder came to me, and I consider her ancestors, but I didn't know her, like, but the way she dressed remind me of a friend of the family that passed on. But she came to me and she told me, she said, stay away. No, she said, you got to get those fibroids out of you. They are killing you. That was one of the main things she told me. Another thing she told me, to stay away from this particular sister. She literally just, we was like walking, and kind of like, you know that movie, Charles Dickinson, A Christmas Carol. You know how, like, when Scrooge deal with all these different people that come to him, that's kind of how it was. And she showed me her, and this particular sister, she cook a lot, and she was like, don't get she mainly warned me, like, you don't, you could be, in so many words, I'm putting it in my own way, but you could be nice to her, but don't get too close to her. Like, mainly, don't get too close. That was her words. And the last thing she said to me was, I was dealing with a man for 20 years, and he wasn't no good. He wasn't good for me. And I knew exactly what she was talking about. So I went to my doctor. My doctor name is Dr. O, my gynecologist, and he's African. And I literally told him, I say, Dr. O, I had a vision, and the sister came to me and told me I got to get these fibroids out of me because they're killing me. And he said, okay, we're going to do the myomectomy surgery. No, he didn't take my uterus, and I still have all that. But he just took the fibroids out. And that was in 2014. And I told him. He listened. He didn't question it. Maybe because in his culture, and he's from Nigeria, maybe in his culture he knew, so he didn't question. If I went to a white, they probably was like, she crazy as hell. So talking to your ancestors, I don't think it got anything to do with leaving your religion to talk to your ancestors. You still can deal with it, unless you just want to deal, if you're going to deal with a religion that's based off different deities and ancestors and stuff, like, and it's a couple of, ways of life or spirituality that deals with that. So yeah, I don't want to tell you to leave Christianity unless you just found some things that you just don't agree with and you want to move on. There's nothing wrong with moving on, because there's so many people that goes through different stages of knowledge, and they move on, and they be like, okay, I'm not with this. And even though I'm not an active member of the Nation of Islam, but by me being a child of growing up in the Nation of Islam, and I just left the nation in 2012. So was it 12 or 13? I think it was 13. No, I left it in 2013, because it was always a part of my life. So a lot of those things that I learned about being in the nation, I incorporated into what I believe now. So that's my advice. I hope you, my advice mainly is, and you have to be really careful about moving. Don't move so quickly into something different, because the thing is, of a family member of my brother, he went to prison and he started learning, I don't know exactly what he learned, but me and him, I had conversations, and he was just so excited about learning, finding out. He was mainly saying what he knew as Christianity wasn't true, and he was just so excited and hyped. But the thing is, some people could get shot out. They could get shot out to the point that they could get shot out to the point that whatever they learning, it could kind of take their mind. So whatever you learning, just take baby steps to it, because you don't want nothing to cloud the reality we live in. For instance, my son's brother, he recently got out of jail, and he was talking all nice, and he just went to a monastery and and just messed up a whole bunch of Buddha, over a dozen, 2 dozen Buddha statues, because he said they was idol worshiping or something like that. He mainly went to here in Florida. You can look it up online if y'all. It just recently happened, so you have to be real careful, and you got to be careful, like when you learn something new, and then in your mind, anything outside what you learning new, some people shun it. But like I say, Queen Nikki, she's a Nakia, she's very mature. In I picked she got like an old soul. So I'm pretty sure, you'll do really well with taking baby steps of dealing with a new way of life. So I hope I answered you, Queen. I'm a messy brain. I tell people that all the time. My brain be everywhere. Because I'm thinking, I'm looking at I think I got an email from a customer on top of all kind of other stuff, and it's like we got real bad weather here in Florida. So yeah. So I hope I answered your question, and thank you for asking me that question, Queen. And a lot of people that answer me a lot of questions, I know I haven't answered a lot of things y'all asked me, but I'm going to go through all my comments, and I'm going to try to start answering them in videos. I think that'll be more easier for me. All right. All right. Salam, salam.